like Vimal Chopra ji. He has been very kind enough to support the startups, helping them in different problems which they are facing. And in fact, today we requested him to give a webinar on the key component of your startup journey, that is how you will build your prototype, and then from prototype how you will reach to a commercialization stage like the final product. And Vimalji is alumni of IIT Kanpur 1981 batch, so that's why we are connected with him from two ways, being an alumni of IIT Kanpur as well as he is mentoring a lot of startups. So today we will listen to him. He has very rich experience in industry. He has been working in various industries. Now he is running his own company also. So he will tell you that through his own experience what he has observed, and how the best uh, possible way would be to develop the prototype, and then from prototype to product, what is the best path to trace so that you minimize your downtime or waiting time and you quickly scale up and go to the market. So with this, I would welcome again all of you to this webinar, and thanks to Vimalji for giving his time to conduct this, to give a talk on this webinar. Thank you. Over to you, Vatsala.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your kind words. Now I would like to invite Dr. Nikhil.
Thanks a lot, Vatsala, and welcome, Vimalji. Vimalji and myself has few conversations over the phone about it, how we can internationalize the IIT research. What are the avenues which are available in other countries, specifically neighboring countries. And we have a habit of looking at countries which is beyond our reach, like US and other, and Korea and Japan. And sometimes we forget that the gold mine can be next door. So particularly we had a detailed discussion on how we can learn and probably help the countries and ecosystems nearby. The food is similar, thought process is similar, culture is similar, and there is enough smart people in those countries which are looking for certain help. And it will also allow our companies to explore the opportunity in launching their product in other places. So we explored that, and I believe with the great experience of Vimalji, you'll be able to learn something which is always sort of a holy grail, which is like how to, you may be a great innovator, but how to do the business, how to conduct the business, and how to do business in longer term. That is something, a holy grail, which everybody has need to understand. And I don't think that nobody better than Vimal Kumar Chopra can address us for today's gathering. So I welcome Vimalji to the session, and thanks a lot, Vatsala, for organizing it.
Thank you so much, Nikhil, sir, for being here. Thank you for your time, Professor Sharma. So with the paths shown by our leadership at the incubator, Professor Sharma and Dr. Nikhil Agarwal, I thank them for being here and starting the session. So this session today is titled as From the Concept to Successful Commercialization of Products and Projects from the Perspective of an Engineer's Journey. Our speaker for today has been introduced. It's Mr. Vimal Kumar Chopra. He's an esteemed alumnus of IIT Kanpur and Managing Director of Ashkali Engineering and Management Services Private Limited. He has now agreed to share his knowledge and time as a mentor for our startups. Mr. Chopra is a highly experienced veteran with a diverse skill set in profitable business operations, marketing of technical products, and project service packages. techno-commercial bidding of significant value and complex turnkey packages, sales and training, man management skills, and brand equity building from electrical engineering products. His expertise extends to devising effective programs and imparting quality technical and soft skills training. With a strong background in these areas, he has and brings plenitude of learning and capabilities to any project and products and organization that he is involved in with. Not taking any much time further from the session, I would like to invite and give the room to Mr. Chopra. Sir, the room is yours.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. And first of all, I really applaud SIIC, IIT Kanpur, and the whole ecosystem for this very great news. We have been actually sharing about this on our IIT group, our branch group. We are very active on the WhatsApp group. So, first of all, very great. I mean, congratulations to everybody, including the founders and all the people there. Now, actually, Vatsala, I have a little bit of problem because I'm trying to get this gallery view. I only see the four of us. So, I mean, I don't know, you have done that setting, or I would like to see all the people at least once. I like to see the smiling like you know, as much as possible. Really smiling, I would like to see, because if you're not going to smile, you want to enjoy the session. I would like everybody to enjoy the session.
Sure, I'll just ask with the media team.
Yeah.
Deepak, is it possible to have this view?
Yeah, it's possible. Let me.
Yeah, please.
Sure.
And please come on video with smiling faces. I don't want any, sorry, I mean, that's my way of saying.
Yes, requesting all the people in the audience to
Yeah,
please switch on
please
your
start the audio.
cameras.
I'm in the video.
Yeah, just a second, sir.
Yeah, sure.
I think they have to be added into the main room.
Oh.
Yeah,
They
so
cannot switch on the video unless they're added in the main room and they become a speaker. So
Oh.
then what the
Okay,
problem
okay. Maybe, sorry. Maybe we can do it towards the end, but I hope in their own rooms, I mean, not the main room, I'm talking the wherever they are, I hope they are able to take this, my request, my demand that yes, you must take this today's session as, you know, something like, which is going to give you some happiness after this. At the end, of course, Vatsala will verify that time you can add them to the main view, correct? So that is it. Okay, so here goes. Vatsala spoke a lot about me. I only say yes, I have had a lot of experience across the country. I worked inside in various places, etc. Yet also I've fallen down many times. Let me very happily say that I've fallen down many times. Why? Because I've fallen down not to fall down to okay, bhai, chalo khatam ho gaya, chalo go, Baba Tata, no, Tata, nahi, no. I have got up from the ground using the ground as my, you know, my support, and got up and gone to a better. So every one simple thing is that God always has a plan for each one of us. He has a plan. If you're doing something, any project you are doing, any part of your innovation field you are doing, if you fail in a certain endeavor, I'm sure you would always be very successful. So all of you have taken, I mean, I'm talking of the incubators, I'm talking of the founders and their startups. I think it's a very brave decision. One of the, I would say, alternate title to my this today's talk, I had given Vatsala Brave New World. I had that in mind, but actually you are living that Brave New World. So can I see the first slide, Vatsala? I mean, the outline, I would like to talk about the outline first. Vatsala, outline.
yes, sir, I'm just sharing. Just a second.
Yeah.
Are you able to see the screen, sir?
Yeah, so the main outline is, I think, the second page is on the outline on the second page.
Okay.
Yeah. So I wrote starting with, the change, the very old statement is there for everybody. I mean, a very nice phrase, which I believe in also. If you want to change the world, you have to start changing yourself. So first thing is the mentors. I would like to talk, I would take just about 10 seconds or so. I'm having a track of the time also. For mentors, what are our motivations? What are the needs and requisites and the ground realities also? First of all, for the mentors like me, well, and then would be the for the mentees, what are requirements for them. So mentors, let me just put I will say a question to you. Uh, Rather, they can't answer on this. So why do you think that the mentors are there to, just because Vatsala is a very good marketing person, Ankushi, Professor Ankush is very is a very good head of the department. No, it's not that. It's part of that is that, of course, you have a very good ecosystem there. Yet, it's also passion with all the mentors. And when we're talking of passion, we are talking of, look, we have done our story, we have done, our game, we have done. So we would like to, in a way, give back to the society something of our own experience, which can make you grow up the learning curve in a much faster and a better way. We would not like you to commit the very same mistakes which we have done. Well, if you do, well, it's part of your karma, I would say. But yes, as far as possible, we would like to guide you. And of course, mentees, for the mentees, putting in short, mentees, what are the like the ground realities? The two things which have come over the past 6-7 months have been associated with SIIC is that you want basically how to get business and how to get the funding for the business. So fair. I mean that's absolutely fair, no problems. But then business मिल जाएगा, आपको मिलेगा, आपको फंडिंग में मिल जाएगी और बिजनेस आने के लिए. But how would you feel that if somebody is there by your side, how somebody is there at the back, at your back, and also in front, also guiding you and taking you to the route, and you doing it yourself? That's one part of it. At the same time, in corporate, it's a fact of life. In corporate India or in the world, there are no free lunches. Having said that, yes, we have the passion, we want to communicate, we want to do. At the same time, agar matlab, I hope people can understand Hindi, most of the people. Is Rajesh Jayachandran there also in this thing? How will you see him if once he raises his hand? Because he's Tamil Nadu. He is my colleague, which I had introduced also. I don't know whether he is there or not. He can't say anything on this also. So anyway, so I'm just going to use very few Hindi words, but eventually अगर सब चीज चैरिटी में मिल जाए आपको, तो आप क्या करोगे आप? ये पॉसिबल है ही नहीं. I am being very blunt. At the same time, I'm going to be very, very clear, blunt, but very, I would say, softly, I will tell, look, you imagine any mentor. I am not talking about myself, I'm talking other people also in the finance who are there. I don't want to take the names, but they are there. Or in other field who say that, okay, we will get you business, we will get you the finance. So then your question in your mind should be, but what will the cost of that? There has to be a cost to everything. There would be a cost to everything. On the other side, I will not talk of what this sort of talk I would, when I give to any consultant and all, how much the charge would be, because that's not at all my thought process. Same thing with all the mentors. They would not even talk of, okay, I'm giving you a consultancy, I'm giving you so. No, this is something different. Yet mentees also have to understand this is the result, the outcome, the result or the outcome of your endeavors, your own actions which you take, which will get you these results. And how, by the help of those mentors, we have gone through, all of us have gone to different areas, whether it's finance, whether it's in AI, whether it's in my typical, I will say, agricultural field, or it's in defense, any sector, defense sector, or in the typical industrial. Now, so that, keeping that in mind, you must always understand that our time also is precious. I'm talking of not, again, I'm talking all the mentors. So this would be the first, which I've already elaborated that. Then in the outline, we would also talk statement already. I've told part of it. I've told that how would you be able to make use of the mentor's experience, their skill set, their contacts, their relationships, their experiences. How, meaning you have to take a call on that. All the mentees have to take a call on that. You cannot see, one shoe cannot fit everybody. That's very clear. कि अच्छा आप फाइनेंस के लिए कर रहे हैं, वो कर रहे हैं, इसमें भी ऐसा कर, it's not possible. It will not never be possible. I will not say that it's possible for me to take care of all the the founders, all the companies. I can do everything. No, I can't. I have certain set of knowledge. I can reflect it to certain sectors where I worked or this thing I've done. Then we will, as I told, purpose and statement of purpose of this session. We will talk of the basic objectives. As I said, part of that objective already said. Then the answers to your questions, which have been raised by some of the companies, and finally the takeaways. And we will also talk of the generic level strategy, the focus or the fulcrum points, and the do's and don'ts, and importance of Gemba Kaizen. Now, Gemba Kaizen, I'm particularly very enamored of, because Gemba Kaizen is a word which has come after Kaizen, 5S, then Kaizen, then 5S together. Then Gemba Kaizen came, which means it is again tying up with the central theme which I'm telling. You are the creator of your own karma. You're the creator of your own business. And in terms of Gemba means what? I think probably some of you must have known. If not, please read up this Gemba Kaizen. There's a whole set of philosophy of quality and improvement at work, where the person concerned who is working on a machine or on a project, he is the most capable person on that machine to develop solutions to the problems, or find out a better way of doing things, or find out the best productivity methods. That is known as Gemba Kaizen. This is what exactly ties up with my earlier statement. Yes, you people know what is best for you. Yes, where you want the help in particular point. Okay, I want this contact, or I want this entry into this industry, or I want that could be done. But Gemba Kaizen, the whole idea of Gemba Kaizen is you people intrinsically know why you are into this business and how you can improve your own systems, how you can improve your own working. Can I have the next, please, slide?
Can you see the slides?
Yeah. So when we are talking of, we just said that these principles are generic, which means these are applicable to all the genres. They're applicable to all the segments. They are applicable to all, as I said, Gemba Kaizen, and I talked of this basic belief in yourself. Then we are talking of which is applicable across the genre, all the genres. and across all these segments, across all the startups, be it in AI, be it in agri, be it in defense, be it in productivity. And the 5 focus points I would like you to now just keep it in mind. This would be available, of course. Yeah, Vatsala, can I have this next? Okay, yeah. I think it's not, it is there, okay. I focus, okay. Before that, what I'll do that, am I still audible? Hello?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay. So I think it's the next one which I wanted anyway. So the 5 focus points, I can just read them out to you. Look forward, but reason back. Move 2 steps ahead. Even if you move 1 step behind, move 2 steps ahead. This is a statement which I learned, or a phrase, or a credo which I learned from the finance professionals. Then you make big bets. Second is you make big bets without betting the company. What does it mean? You make big bets like you what are you going to do? You are basically going to, really going to, for a long term vision you have, you want to go from, say, 1 CR, you want to go to 50 CR, you want to go to 100 CR. Yes, big bet on your project, on your product. Yet you must not, you don't put on stake your company. Okay, chalo, we have talked about this also in the first session that, okay, people want the equity stake, they want to buy it, etc. Eventually, it's your decision, but I would not recommend. Then build platforms and ecosystem, not just products. Since this particular session is only about an hour for me to, basic would be, so I cannot discuss each and every point. This one point itself could take about 1 hour or so. So you know what it means, build platforms and ecosystem. The whole system around your product or a project has to be built up with the back-end suppliers, with the front-end customers, and in between, all the handling, the logistics, etc. And not just the product by itself. It will not sell by itself. Then exploit the leverage and power, play judo and sumo. We can talk about this ad infinitum, but again, I'm having as per a good idea which he gave me, so I'm having a top watch here, but okay. And shape the organization around your personal anchor. This is very, very important. When I talk of the mission statement, I've been asking mission, what exactly? How many of you can describe your company or your product in just one word? Is there anybody there? Can I ask this question I'm asking now a little bit? Is there anybody? Does anybody raise their hand? You can't. Can you see it or not? You can't see. Can you get a chat on this? No.
Yes, we can get the chat on it.
The chat आप करिए. Just while we are going through this thing, ask each and everyone, or maybe whoever wants to give just one word describe करिए.
Is anyone there who would like
to? Can anybody would like to take this call? Just one word, or maybe 2 words at the most, but I can't extend it 3 words. No. 1 या 2 शब्दों में क्या कर, प्रोडक्ट क्या है, कंपनी क्या है, वो क्या है. मैं इस पॉइंट पे स्पेशली आई वांट टू स्ट्रेस.
So I do not see any hands.
कोई नहीं है, चलिए बाद में क्वेश्चन ऐड कर दिया, कोई बात नहीं. Your personal anchor is what? Look, my personal anchor is, I'll tell for myself, for example, my anchor is communication. If I know I can communicate a point, if I know I can communicate, that's all. Communication. बाद में convincing बाद में आता है, marketing बाद में आता है. They're all offshoots, they're all results of this communication. For me, it's communication. The day I feel that I cannot communicate something logically, something interesting, and they are again offshoots of the word communication, or something which is of interest to anybody else, I think I would simply say, chalo main Tata, bye bye, main ja raha hu Himalayas mein. That is my forte. That is my way of looking at myself. Okay, so shall we come to the anecdote? I think this. Of course, I can't see the faces of the people again, so मेरे को पता नहीं क्या वो they are sleeping or I don't know. How do you do this in this case? That how do you know what the people are like, how they are receiving it?
So there, so one of the anonymous attendee has written tracking
Okay.
transactions in waste management.
Sorry.
Tracking transactions in waste management.
There are too many words. Two words. Why can't you say waste management? I mean, I'm asking you, I don't know. I can't go into his mind unless I heard that mission statement. Is it waste management per se? Is it tracking transactions or transactions? Who's the gentleman? I mean, you can just ask him. He's hearing. I hope he's hearing. Why are you so limiting yourself to that particular point? My point is that I'll come to this point later on if we have time. I don't know. हो गया आधा घंटा हो गया आधे घंटे में मेरे 15 मिनट ही बोला
That is okay, sir. We have.
अच्छा, okay. So anecdote I'll tell about anecdote with somewhere. By the way, I'll also be talking of one point I will be talking of, and also there would be a opposite point also to that one. So there's a reason also. There's everything is not 100% hunky dory in our world, in your world. Everything is not सब कुछ वो नहीं होता कि 0 1 नहीं होता. Digital is not there in the world. So sometimes I'll tell you that, okay, this is the correct thing. I may also in the same today's session itself, I may tell you, नहीं वो भी होता है और वो भी कई बार होता है. Okay, so anecdote one which I wanted to talk about is the company. I'm sure you could have. I've written the name also. Have I written the name in your presentation? No. Vatsala, have I written? No, I've not written. Okay, this company is actually a one-man army. And I speak of this from a point of view of being very close to the founder. He is no longer there. He's an Indian company. Now, I was heading a business of this company in the industrial product segment, which is known as IP. And their focus was not on this. They started with this business of IP, making changeover switches. Anybody could take a guess. I will definitely give him a virtual chocolate. I can't give a physical chocolate. This would have been excellent if I had a one-to-one interface. Anybody is able to take a guess on the company? Come on, what's this? Why people are sleeping? What's happening? Anybody? Anyway, think about it. I'll tell more hints I'll give. Now you can also quote, you can also find out. I'm not doing the name yet. So, this company started literally like the way you have done now. And that time it was very more difficult. They were a trading company in starting in कहाँ पे आपके दिल्ली की जो वो electrical market है वो क्या palace क्या मैं भूल गया नाम उसका. That is a mess of a market. Some palaces that I'll tell you. So वहाँ से they started making, and then they started making this changeover switches electrical. That's an industrial product, by the way. Mostly using it. Then slowly, then they saw that the business is there, and I'm coming very near to the treasure hunt. Treasure जहाँ पे है वो आ रहा हूँ, but I will not. I'll थोड़ा सा दूर जाता हूँ. Then they went into other areas like other switchgear part is DP, that is distribution products, which is known as again switchgear only. There's MCBs, MCCB, not MCBs, MCB boxes, and similar. Then switches. And MCBs was same, MCB boxes was in the same listing category. Then lighting, then fans, etc. Now anybody could take a guess or no? This is too bad. We are in the electrical industry primarily. No, anyway, no, we are not probably we are not in the agri segment also. Anyway, the company's name is Havels. Okay, so time is short. You see, now they have taken, in my time itself, I was there for a very short time. I was working with the gentleman called Himat Rai Gupta. And Himat Rai, sir, he was actually QR Gupta, the QRJ towers, etc. I was very close because I was one of the VPs in the industrial products. I was looking after that. So I was very happy to join this as a head of the industrial products. But in a very short time, I came to know that they started with that product, industrial products, which is MCCBs, ACBs, panels, etc. But the focus was not on that. Whereas when I was there, there's 200 crores per annum of business of industrial products. The other business to the extent of 1900 crores, 5% the turnover. So naturally, I said, I am like a small fry, one of the VPs, एक कोने में corner room में नहीं कहीं स्टोर रूम के पास में मेरे को ऐसा था नहीं एक्चुअली I felt like that. So anyway, but yes, they have grown by their own, thought process. They have kept themselves anchor. To मैं बोल रहा हूँ, personal anchor. They had this growth, tremendous amount of. If you see for Havels, I would give the QR Gupta Sahib for himself. He was a great conversationalist. He was a great communicator, and he was physically very, very, I will say, quite important to understand. Physically, he was very challenged in terms of he had severe arthritis, and his some of his fingers also were deformed because of the arthritis. Still, he used to hold 3 days meetings continuously with the all the dealers, distributors. He himself used to start and used to conclude that meeting after till 3 days. That was the basic, that जो कहते हैं Zward weave. It's actually spelling is JOIE-DEVIVRE. Zward weave is the the enthusiasm for business, enthusiasm for life that I learned from him. That is the anchor here. The anchoring was growth, 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 every time growth. In the meetings, he used to say, okay, आप अभी कितना करो 100 crores, 10 crores करना है डीलर, अच्छा अगले साल 20 crore करो. Just so simple like that he used to ask. This is one example which again goes back to the same person. What is your anchor? What are you? You're doing that in the business. The company which said that, yes, I'm in the tracking transactions in waste management. Correct. That's what companies are, right? So a bit confusing to me, but no problem. So maybe they will define a better word by end of this session.
There is another company that has written that they are a bug bounty platform.
Sorry?
Bug bounty platform.
Bug bounty platform. I mean, I couldn't understand that. So
The
I don't know.
company, yeah, the company belongs to cybersecurity domain.
Okay, bug bounty. Okay. So I mean, could you just ask them whether they are, or could you just unmute that company? Maybe I would just like to have. This would be more interesting to know for other people also. For other people, could you just unmute? Is it possible to unmute them? No.
No, so it's not possible. to
Okay, okay. So bug bounty, okay. So I'm asking them a question like, do you say that the bounty for the company is debugging? The thought comes to my mind. If I am an investor for you, I'm straight away coming into the picture. I'm coming myself, throwing myself across in the tracks. I'm saying, you are a company which is looking for finance. Let's say you come to me. As you, why do you give your company a bug bounty? Are you saying that the bounty, you get the bounty after you debug the company, the cyber this thing and all. एक connection बनते हैं mind में, neurons होता है. तो ये बाकी लोगों के लिए भी valid है, उनके दिमाग में भी they should build these connections. वो ऐसा क्यों? I mean, that's your choice. I'm not questioning them. I'm not giving them marks. कि अच्छा नहीं, अच्छा नहीं. I'm not I am not at all here a teacher. I'm just sharing my thoughts with them. So I mean, let them. If the anchor is there, okay, they are in cybersecurity, fair enough. So they must have defined a field for them. So let's move on to the next point, which I think concept stage is there. Here we are talking the concept stage. This is why this is also part of that what we talked about concept stage. When you're having a any product, any project, any sort of I will say a small scientific you want to do something improvement of a product or a process or a project and all that. So you have to align this. This is what I was saying. You have to align this with your own life goals, your career ambition, and your own values. I'm sure this company, since they have come up with this, I'm sure this company founders or is the founder there or is the portfolio manager? I'm just asking, is the founder there or the portfolio manager?
The portfolio manager.
Innocuous questions. I'm not innocuous. I mean, they're very innocent questions. Is the founder there?
Yes, sir. There.
Okay. So let the answer come from the founder later on, maybe. Like, how is it aligned, this particular product, this particular service? How is it aligned with his own life goals? Does he have that drive? Does he have that enthusiasm? Does he have that passion to see that India, example, which comes to my mind in the defense sector, all these attacks from the drones are happening. Does he have that passion in me? मैं country के लिए करूँगा कि I am going to have anti-cyber software or debugging the cyber or whatever, if he means that bugging ka. Does he have that or not? Let him ask this question to himself. This is interesting because once we get this, then I can immediately address the queries also, right? If he has that aligned with him, fair. When he's on the right, I'm not again sorry, I corrected myself. I will not say he's on the right track. I'm not going to give any marks. I'm not going to pass any comments like this. I've done that my whole life to my team because they were my team, right? I used to fight with them. I hope Rajesh is there listening to me. It's a very important point for him to come in. Rajesh, I don't know if he says yes, you can maybe, can he give a chat to Rajesh and all this South, particularly, Tamil Nadu, especially Tamil Nadu, Chennai and two branches, Coimbatore and all. So I used to always treat them very, very, not harsh, I used to treat them very, very sternly that, okay, because I feel that if I can be very fair to them, it can be only by way of being very, asking them to, to go inside and see how they are aligning themselves to the goals, their goals to the goals of the company. Again, second point which I'm saying is the same thing. You have to be sensitive to your gut feeling. Gut feeling is a word which I use very, very often. I've used earlier also. You have to develop, you have to listen to your gut feeling. You have to, secondly or thirdly, I will say, you have to have an in-depth knowledge of the product markets. The cyber has a very wide field, like any product. And it has a very wide field. So now I just gave an example of defense because some of the companies want to go into defense also. So you have to you have to become the most knowledgeable person on, at least in India, on this particular field, whichever field you have chosen, whichever product you have chosen. And then you must project your growth of your company. I mean, I said something now about earlier I made, exploit, leverage, and power, and shape the organization around your personal goals and make big bets. So you must make realistic but plans definitely for the next 10 to 15 years, not 5. 5 years to anyway, if your plan for 10 years are there, you would be incorporating the problems or likely new entrants who will come and copy your product or come and make a cheaper product, clone your product. I'm just using a simple word. Cloning means a better product at a newer technology, etc. So 10 se 15 saal ke liye, this is my own personal take. Nothing, I cannot talk of the cyberspace as much as a friend of mine who's a cyber expert also. I wanted to get him online also, but then there's 1 hour is quite less for anybody. Unko to karne mein, he would require himself 1 hour. I can, of course, we can again take it up further and all. He's a colonel, retired colonel from Signals, and Signal is right now is in the, one of the, most of the defense people who are dealing with it would know. Signals is the place to be there for anything related to AI or defense sector, AI or cyber, etc. and all that. The people know. So, of course, as I said, 10 to 15 years, you should also be aware of the forthcoming disruptive technologies, which are presently on the horizon. Now, I have talked about this to Vatsala, I've talked to you also. I've also talked to Dishant. I've talked to Dishant also about it, but very casually because our interactions were here in my office only for 5-10 minutes, etc. So, specific to him, to any other person who has a technology, for example, this energy storage. Now, energy storage is one of the technologies he has, is that this weights being ferried up and then coming down and all. I wanted to have a word with these Nepal people also, but the time was not there. Maybe next month or so. Professor Ankush is going to take me along with him, of course. He'll lead the show and take me to Nepal. Yes, Professor, is he there or he's gone? He's left. He's not there.
Yeah,
He left. I requested him to come for 5 minutes. Anyway, Nikhil sir is there.
I am not left. I am here.
Hey, Nikhil sir, I was talking of Professor Ankush. I am very happy. Very good, sir. और क्या? सोने पे सुहागा हो गया. आप हैं तो आप चलेंगे. आप लेके चलेंगे नेपाल में. And I can bet on that. I can get an appointment with the energy minister also. I will get an appointment with the So with the energy secretary whom I met, Ankush Sir and I, we met. अरे he's there. आप निखिल अग्रवाल को उससे कैसे आ रहे हैं आप?
मैं निखिल के
नाम-
साथ ही बैठा हुआ था
हैं?
दोनों
So
काम हो
they-
रहे थे
I thought I am seeing stars in the daytime. Like, good. So I said, we missed that. That day, that the energy minister, he went off to half an hour earlier than we
Right.
reached.
Right.
See, naturally, they were not knowing it is a high, it's actually a very, very, this top secret. And not, it's all, protocol and all that. They won't tell you, Chief Minister ka वापस जाएंगे, Prime Minister.
Yes, yes.
Anyway, coming back to that.
In fact,
So,
we could
yeah.
meet Prime Minister also, but we missed somehow.
Correct. No, actually, he told that. No, actually, he said, कि हमको पता, man is that way. He is very honest. I am honest with him. He is also honest with me. So he said, नहीं देखिए हमको पता नहीं लगा. रात में भी मैंने पूछा, 12 बजे पूछा, मेरे को 12 बजे तक बता दो. तब उसने बताया ये लोग हैं और हो सकता है प्राइम मिनिस्टर को भी मिल जाएंगे. I think I sent the message to you also. I think that we can
Right,
possibly.
right.
I sent the message to you. Yes, I remember.
Right.
So this also is one thing I was talking about communication. I said my forte is communication. So I leave no stones unturned. This is also a takeaway from you people. I used to say my people, my team, आप क्यों इतना डिटेल में क्यों बताते हो? मैं इसलिए बोलता हूँ, अगर मेरे से एक बार कोई रह जाए, मैं दूसरी बार बोलता हूँ कि अगर मिस हो गया तो ये पॉइंट भी आ जाए. I believe in over communicating to my team rather than under communicating. Very simply put, everybody on board. Yes, on the other side, on the customer side, when I'm there with the customer, I will ask the person concerned with the knowledge. I'll give an introduction and then tell, like Professor Nikhil, photo, आपका नाम आ गया. Professor Ankush was there, so one relevant point I said, देखो, this is it. Now he is the expert. Now he will tell on that. Look, I don't want to. I'm not so egoistic. I won't listen to my own voice. No, but I know where I can start the conversation, where I can bring it to the logic. I think आपने भी फिर उनको बताया था, एनर्जी सेक्रेटरी को आपने कुछ बताए थे आपने, प्रोफेसर अंकुश, आपने कुछ समझाया था उनको. चलिए वो उनका म्यूट है उनका, कोई बात नहीं. That brings us to this. हाँ.
Yeah, so there is a question, sir.
अच्छा.
Shall I take it up?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So it says, what are the measures that you would take to assess the market demand and competition for a B2B product before it is commercialized? Are there any specific strategies or methodologies you employ?
I didn't get the first part of the question. I know B2B to सुन लिया मैंने, separate strategies. After just please again.
Yeah. So what are the measures that you take to assess the market demand and competition for a B2B product before it is commercialized? Are there any specific strategies or methodologies you employ?
Any B2B product. Is it here the question is of any B2B product?
Yes, so it's generic.
It cannot be, there can't be any answer. No shoe will fit all feet. No shoe will fit all feet. No Vimal Chopra or Vimal Chopra's bosses or leaders के मेरे leader के जो बड़े अच्छे I've had very good will be able to answer this question. I'm so sorry, but bluntly, this is a very dash question. Now you can add whatever you want to add. This is a very.
Can we take it? Yeah, can we take it up for defense projects?
Yes, defense projects. Yes, of course, we can. Now, as I told you, one example which I gave you of that defense is that this is the field which I see tremendous scope. Then strategies. Okay, I will ask the people now that, okay, if you're talking of strategies, how much of the knowledge and how do you get the knowledge of the sector which you intend to market your product or your service to? Defense, let it be defense. Are you keeping, are the people aware of there are defense exhibitions held in Delhi? There are exhibitions held in Bangalore, exhibitions held across the country. There are delegations from other countries. A British delegation was there last week. I got I said I'll give you some of the things which you can project, but I've got it somewhere on my laptop. But because the past 3-4 days I've not been too well in terms of So anyway, that's besides the point. So are you keeping yourself abreast of the happenings around you? Are you keeping yourself knowledgeable about the scenario? Everything, the B2B market, B2B marketing, whether it's generic or it's a certain product, has to be custom built. I can give an example from my own experience. Well, for a very short time, I was in absolutely a different sphere, which was the office automation. This is not the normal automation in industrial automation, office automation. Now, here is the negative parts, but there are a lot of negative parts in terms of we can't run away from that, the bribe and all that, influencing, etc. Yet the learning for me was that yes, this exists in our country also. This exists in our armed forces also, especially where the purchase people are there. Whether it's I'll not take the names here. So again, you have to tune yourself, or you have to tune your company strategies. If you're okay with it, fine, you'll be able to get a foothold. And if you're not okay with it, then look at other markets, maybe related to B2B, but then maybe B2B only. Related to defense, but the supplier side. Here we have a lot of contractors also who have been there with the defense sector. They are supplying specialized equipment, be they very high, stakeholders like Tata's, Ambani's. That's one more B2B, but that's another genre of customers. There's another genre, and not directly to defense. If you do not like that okay, नहीं हमको bribe money देना है, हमको influence करना है, उनको घर में 3Ws हमने. I'm being very frank and blunt about it. So that's again my way of not mincing words. So अब नहीं करना, then you go to the contractors. Contractors will take care of that. They are used to doing that. They are doing it. They're getting repeat business because they're doing it. It's a facet of our life. So, I have tried to answer this in the best way possible. The decision is up to the people. What other specific strategies और कुछ strategies वो नहीं है. Especially ये दो मैंने senior बता दिए आपको, जो कि अपना खुद I have seen with my own this thing, where I have met very, very senior officers of the army also. They were, MGO stands for Master General of Ordnance, headed by a Lieutenant General. And I'm not talking of bribery here. I'm talking of, you have to get the approach to these people. If you are making something related to ordnance, if you are making something related to armaments, then you have to go either directly, then you have to be prepared. You have to be prepared. नहीं हमें bribe नहीं देना, हम तो भाई चलो मैं महात्मा गांधी का नाम ही लेता हूँ, निकल ही गया है, मैं उनके वो हूँ, मैं हरिश्चंद्र हूँ, तो ठीक है. Then don't go to directly, then you go to the contractors, but contractors will take their own pound of flesh. आप say anything they buy from you, anything they have an agreement with you, they will ask you what you would have got the money from the direct from defense. They will ask you less 20% of that. They will want the price कम से कम 20-25% lower than that. So, see, again, this is also a very, not a tricky for me. Not tricky. I know I've been there, so I've done it. So that's it. I hope this answers that to a reasonable extent. Yes, there are other areas of defense also. There are defense schools also where you can do a lot of, but to a lesser or greater extent. There's some background noise coming out. Yeah, so to a lesser or greater extent, this is there. This factor, all your strategies would have to be based on your own personal values, your own personal, the anchor, what anchor says. Okay. So what you say as an anchor, नहीं हमको ये करना है, इस तरह से business करना है, हमको बिल्कुल करना है. हमारी technology sell करेगी हमारी. अगर ये सोच रहे हैं, Vatsala, is very important. I hope everybody is listening. मेरी टेक्नोलॉजी सेल करेगी, मैं IIT कानपुर का SISC सेंटर से हूँ और टेक्नोलॉजी सेल करेगी। देयर आई एम वेरी सॉरी टू डिसअपॉइंट यू, ऐसा कुछ नहीं होगा। आपको बहुत अच्छी तरह से ट्रीट करेंगे, आपको गेस्ट हाउस में ठहराएंगे, अच्छी चाय, वेरी ब्यूटीफुल टी, कॉफी, दे विल टेक गुड केयर ऑफ यू। ओके, वील थिंक अबाउट इट, दैट्स इट। विल थिंक अबाउट इट, चलो ठीक है। थिंक अबाउट इट मीन्स मे बी 1 month, 1 year, or maybe till the next I'm not taking the designation, he comes in command, तब तो नए सिरे से फिर आपको करना पड़ेगा आपको। I think इससे ज्यादा और क्लियर मैं I would not like to speak on this. In fact, I shouldn't have taken the designations also. So, yeah.
And
So,
there is a follow-up question, sir, and then we will
Please.
move forward.
uh-huh.
It says, for defense standardization plays a vital role in the commercialization of B2B products. But we have found the delinkage in what defense wants and what companies use to supply for international standard. How does your involvement with the Bureau of International Standards, that is BIS committee, contribute to this process?
If I just repeat the question in terms of my understanding, he's talking with respect to my experience with BIS and with relation to that extrapolated to the defense sector. Is it that?
Yes.
Okay, let me tell you, I'm a part of BIS as an industry expert on certain aspects. Like I'm not a member of IMA. I'm not a formal member of IMA, but I have, again, it's all the relationship, the PR or the business relationship which I built up, that I was nominated by IMA to BIS. Now, BIS has various civil, electrical, mechanical, electromechanical, I mean, you name it and they have, okay, divisions. I am part of this ETD, electrotechnical division. As far as any product to defense sector, B2B, we're talking of B2B or B2C, or I mean, it's basically B2B we're talking of. So any electrical product which goes to defense would have either BIS or would have some specification by either DGSND or DRDO. So it is to be seen what product they are talking of and what the specifications. Yes, having said that, yes, through BIS, we could always get more information than me, Vimal Chopra, Ashkali, ex-IITian, and that doesn't hold any good unless you have contacts at the high places, which I do have in IMA as well as in BIS. Through them, yes, we could approach them. If that is the question, we could approach them. Yes, of course, we could. Like BIS, we just did, for information of all the people, that we just completed the revision of this NEC, National Electric Code. Every country has its NEC. We called it the NEC 2022. Yeah, it was started in 2019 when I started getting involved more with, after I superannuated. So I was part of that NEC committee, ETD committee. And there are, like, ETD means electrotechnical division, committee number so and so. So there are many committees like that which work on, some may be working on defense sector also, defense sector, defense products also they may be working. So yes, through BIS, of course, I maintain good and above board relations with the BIS people. I want to make it clear that it's not that, okay, again, what I said about it, no, I maintain very good cordial relationships, professional relationships with the BIS people, the top people. In fact, I was, incidentally, the question came up, I was thinking of inviting the Preeti Bhatnagar madam for this session, but it was way too short time. It would have been very foolish of me. It would have been very idiotic of me to tell her in the morning, yeah, please, can you, madam, can you come by? She would have said, yeah, I don't know this Vimal Chopra, he's supposed to be intelligent. He kya बेवकूफी की बात कर रहा है? So आप बोलते शाम को आ जाओ. So a lot of things could have happened in this, but I could definitely invite her for one of the sessions. If it's one-to-one, we could call her for a session also. We could call her to IIT Kanpur also. That, of course, Professor Ankush and Nikhil sir, agar hai, to they could always make a plan. We talked of this also, of calling at least यहाँ से internal लोगों को And by the way, also I sent this. BIS had collaboration with IIT Kanpur, by the way. Yes, and I sent that mail. What the mail sent from BIS to IIT Kanpur to DORD. DORD is correct, yeah. DORD is correct. DORD, apne Harish Saab, abhi to, I mean, he's on leave right now. I got it sent to. There's a collaboration between IIT Kanpur and BIS. They've given some, I think 1 lakh loan and 1 lakh grant also for that. So they've given 1 lakh grant also for development of some standards and all that. So their IIT Kanpur per se is lacking. Straight gun, there's no doubt about it. It's lacking. I had to push them also. Aap batao what you want from BIS. Why don't you participate in these sessions committees? I wanted to see more of IIT Kanpur people, but whatever, they have their own priorities, so I could not say. So any other questions there, or I'll just continue for another 5-10 minutes or so. Yeah, I should be able to. Or koi hai nahi, shall I continue in the meantime?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, please.
Okay, so I was be aware of any forthcoming disruptive technologies. Now, as I told one thing about energy saving, then again about what could be the socio-economic political scenario. People have to be very, very very, very aware, very, very knowledgeable. You have to be, keep your eyes, antennas open all the time. You have to be aware. Visits from a Nepal delegation, as Professor Ankush knows, and Nikhilji also knows, that was basically not just for trade, it was also political also. So what could repercussion could come out of that? Very nicely said by, I think Nikhilji ne bola tha ki aas-paas ki countries. Exactly, that's absolutely on the dot. Bangladesh is a very good place. अभी ऑफ लेट थोड़ा सा वो हो गया है, politically sensitive ज़्यादा हो गया है. Sri Lanka, of course, our government has gone, and then Bangladesh, there are other countries. Afghanistan, I would say no. There are countries like Nepal and Sri Lanka, at least we could see, and there we would have to primarily, get the GOI or the government of UP especially to put their political weight behind these proposed JVs or proposed transfer of technology, or it could be anything of that sort, B2B or government to government also. It could be there. I hope, I'm trying to think, in various different ways. That could be one of the ways of, and then socio-economic, all the scenario, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So why not work on it today itself? Why not start working on it today? Similarly, we also have an idea of the World Economic Forum, or the outlook of the World Economic Forum. I will say World Economic Outlook. Today, everybody is wanting to do business with India. As I told about this UK visit, people might have, anybody is aware, not aware, I'll tell you. The high part delegation has come, I think it's 3-4 days back. I'll send this thing to Vatsala. So you can share it with the people. So you should think why they are coming here. They should start thinking a bit deeper and a broader why they're coming here. They know there's a lot of population is there, a lot of, their client base is there, fair enough. But they also know there's lots and lots of talent here, which they can get the talent at, they can get the technology and the talent they can get at a, much, much better cost, or much better value for money than they can get elsewhere in Europe, or Europe, UK, or US. They can get it at a much better part of it. So we have, another thing I'm continuing. In case anything comes up, please interrupt me. The other very, very important stage is, the product and the project selection stage. You have already selected it, so I'm not saying that you have a relook at it, but in between you must ask yourself, this saying is again attributed to Shri Q.R. Gupta Sahab. He had a big influence on me. I used to always say, I was only 1 year with him, but he has taught me 10 years of, 1 year is equal to 10 years of learning management. So he used to say, jo dikhta hai, wo bikta hai. What can be or what is seen would be easily bought or sold. So this is a point about the visibility and shelf space factor. Any of a product, it may be a software also. It may be your the anti-bug. This thing also. There's also basically software, I suppose, or hardware also. So how much visibility you are able to get the visibility of your product in the market? Or in terms of, let's talk about agri. People have not asked. I will come to that of the agri customers, agri products and all that. Really have not seen the people who are, I mean, what products they are having. So anyway, a little bit more is there on my part. So, the another anecdote is there. I'll share it on the so, okay. That visibility of any agricultural product is also very, very important. So, the anecdote I'll tell you in very brief. I was for many years after Tata Consulting Engineers. There was a campus job. Then after that, I was with this company called English Electric Company of India Limited. There was a totally subsidiary of GEC of UK. And then they were, you can say, the topmost brand of LT switchgear. The relays and especially these electromechanical relays where and the panels, control panels in the power stations. I'm talking of way back in 80s, early 80s, mid 80s and all. So when the power stations, they used to come, the superintending engineer level of people used to come, NTPC people used to come also. सर हमारा वो पैनल कब बनेगा, रिलेज कब मिलेंगे मेंटेनेंस के लिए. They used to be told, अच्छा ऐसा today, this is now June, so please come to us in November. Come to us in November. We will tell you when the delivery is there. We will tell you in November. मतलब अभी अब डिलीवरी तो छोड़िए, आपको नंबर से पहले बता नहीं सकते हैं इतना. So for them the product was everything. Customers' needs were not. This is a very, very big. With the result, they had very good contactors, English Electric. Sorry, not contactors. They had very good relays. Contactors they brought on later on, and with that they thought they'll be able to tap the market of agri segment. I'm talking the starters. क्यों? Because readers तो हैं हमारी market बड़े dealers across India. We have, I don't know, 10, 1500 those are dealers होते थे. Though they brought out starters, very good starters. Even today, people like I was chatting with Rajesh also, if he's there, he would be listening. Very few people know that in 80s, 80, 87, 88 or so, they brought out these starters called Amrit starters. Amrit. Nothing wrong with the product, nothing wrong with the packaging, excellent packaging, best. But then they did not have the retail dealers. They did not have that reach among the this thing. What do you call it? Among the in the agri belts, rural belts. So they put a lot of money. They no dearth of money, no lack of finances, no lack of product, improvement, etc. But dealers, getting dealers or getting the retail, there was some questions also earlier also about how do you do the retail segment? How do you, one of the first thing I answered is about how do you go to markets. If you're able to do this correct marketing of agri products, it may be anything. Seeds, it may be fertilizers, it may be anything. If you're able to do it very effectively in some of these major agri market belts or agri belts in India, then you can go with that. Look, this is my certificate of performance. This place, this is my certificate of performance here. This is what we have done, and then those people also with confidence. You don't need a Vimal Chopra. You don't need even anybody else, head of SIAC to go and tell them, okay, he's an IIT, Vimal Chopra, and I am head of this thing. So please, please consider our case. No, listen. I mean, nobody's going to listen. They want the actual proof of the product, the proof of the success of the product. So coming back to that English Electric, so it was a big failure because here you have dealers who've been dealing with BCH. Even BCH was and still is now it's number 2 in terms of volume. Bhartiya Katla Hammer earlier. So in the very deep belts, Some Q&A is there also. Okay. So I think you'll read them out. So in the deal belt, these entrenched dealers, who are actually also financiers for the farmers. क्या होता है farmers? We are basically farming, Punjabis are farmers essentially. And what happens during harvest time? They, before harvest, they'll come, and at the time of harvest, they will have this, they'll buy new clothes for the family, or push anything else they'll buy for the kitchen or for the gold, everything they'll buy, and they take loan from the loan, meaning yeah, they'll take it and okay, we'll pay you after the harvest. So they are like the family only. They are like the financials. Like वो करते हैं, those people have been working with these for generations, almost for generations. In particular market, and there is a big market in this place in Sangli, yes, in Maharashtra. Then there is another big market. Punjab में तो of course है ही. Himachal में मंडी है. Punjab में we were there in Kaburtala. I forgot the place. Sorry. So all these markets, they have this business. How any company, it may be a startup, it be an established company also in the industrial segment. Mr. Chakri was there, but it could not even put a scratch on that market. And this is the learning also. It's a rural marketing. It's not very easy. It's not very. It's totally different from industrial marketing. Then, questions. Would you like to take some questions now? I also have one.
Sir, I'll suggest that we finish it in the next 10 minutes and then I'll take up questions.
Okay. Sure. So the other thing is about the product project rollout stage. Now, rollout stage, of course, I know some of the mentees, which not mentees, let me be very clear. Let me be very upfront about that. Some of the possible mentees who are talking about, we have this stage 1, stage 2 demonstration, that is, or to show to the customers, or we have done this, now we're going to do that, we don't have anything to show. So yes, they have, this is a part and parcel of the difficult life which they have voluntarily volunteered to take. You have to have conformance testing, and now this also relates to that BIS thing. For its electrical product, you have to get the BIS testing done. If it's a defense product, then it could be their own DRDO acceptance or trials in front of them. If it's something to do with this AI, or we're talking of this thing, drones, etc., then it's not necessary, may not be necessary. If you want to sell to the defense, you must get the approvals confirmed. That you have to think really out of the box, of course. You have to think, really, you have to think in terms of, kahan se hum kis area se we can get these people over, and then they would see the successful, experimentation, successful, launch of this pilot project or like that. And then once they are there, then with that, you can go ahead to the same department, other departments also. And of course, another important factor that you must do a market survey of the catchment areas where you would like to introduce your product or technology. It's true for even for the agri segment products also. It's true for defense also. It's true for electrical, technical, I would say traditional electrical products also. Test the waters, test the waters. How can you say that, this product बहुत अच्छा है? It looks very nice. Like same way which English Electric did. Costly mistake for them. So, बहुत अच्छा product है. It's coming from the house of English Electric and is bound to be successful to farmers. अब पहले आप catchment area में आप पल्लावरम में factory थी, वहाँ आसपास outside the area you could have done a catchment zone of maybe 100 kilometers radius, and you could have done the survey. How do you think? What do you think are the strategies? What do you think are the pricing we should do? What do you think are the schemes we should offer the dealers? What do you think? How should we get new dealers or not in the area? So lots and lots of things is very important. I know here the question would come from the people that look, हम अगर वो करेंगे सैम्पलिंग करेंगे तो हम मार्केट सब कैचमेंट एरिया में जाएंगे, वो करेंगे, रिक्वायर मनी, हम तो मनी वैसे ही मांग रहे हैं, पर आपकी एडवाइस क्या होगी? हमको तो आप और स्ट्रेन दे रहे हो, स्ट्रेस दे रहे हो। तो बड़ा अच्छा कपिल देव का मेरे को बड़ा अच्छा एग्जांपल याद आ गया। हमको द राइट प्लेस टैलेंट टुडेस क्रिकेटर्स, ही सेड, आई थिंक वत्सला यू गॉट दैट जोक, आजकल बोलते हैं हमको स्ट्रेस बड़ा होता है खेलने में। कपिल देव का आंसर इज, आई मीन आई रिमेंबर इट टिल द एंड ऑफ माय लाइफ, तो मत खेलो, मत स्ट्रेस लो। अब स्ट्रेस क्यों लेते हो? मैं इन सभी लोगों से बोलता हूँ, मैं थोड़ा हिंदी में बोल रहा हूँ, थोड़ा मेरे बहुत माननीय जो अपने फाउंडर्स हैं, जो माननीय सब फाउंडर्स हैं, आपने बहुत मतलब जोखिम का बहुत तकलीफ भरा हुआ आपने रास्ता चुना है। तो अगर आपको लगता है कि आप अपने एंड से आप अपना पूरा दांव पे नहीं लगा सकते हैं, आप और आगे जिंदगी का अपना आप नहीं लगा सकते, तो मत करो। मैं सरकास्टिकली नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड। 2 स्टेप फ्रंट 1 स्टेप बिहाइंड का मतलब ये नहीं कि आप 1 स्टेप, विमल चोपड़ा ने बोलती है 1 स्टेप बिहाइंड, या फाइनेंस वाले उस ऑफिशियल ने बोला है ग्रेट सम फाइनेंस आवर इकोनॉमिक अफेयर सेक्रेटरी ने बोल दिया तो हम करेंगे। नो, आप 2 स्टेप पीछे भी ले लो, 3 स्टेप पीछे ले लो, आप कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। आप पीछे स्टेप लेके आप दूसरे डायरेक्शन में चले जाओ। I or anybody else, any mentor can really tell you कि आप जो जिसमें बिलीव करते हो और आप बिलीव करते हो कि यस यही लॉन्ग रूट सक्सेस है मेरा, और आप उसमें ही करो। आप किसी की वजह से किसी की बात मत सुनो, आप दुनिया भर की सुनो, किसी की बात मानो मत, मानो अपना मन का गट फीलिंग, जो मैं पहले भी बोल रहा था। तो दिल से बात जो होती है वो आप दिल को अपने पूछो, आप पूछो आपको क्या करना है, आपको प्रोडक्ट बनाना है, बनाओ, अच्छा और प्रोडक्ट बनाओ, डू फॉर द कंट्री, यू आर ऑलरेडी डूइंग इट। अब ये तो नहीं है कि आपने ये बिजनेस ये करके आपने इतना फाइनेंस लेके फिर आप बोलो मेरे को और फाइनेंस मिल गया, कहीं किसी को नहीं मिला। बिन मांगे मोती मिले, मांगे मिले ना, मांगे मिले ना, वो भी मालूम है, एवरीबॉडी नोज दैट। एक और क्वेश्चन आई एम सेइंग, एनोनिमस अटेंडी, ये एनोनिमस अटेंडी क्यों लेगा? सबसे पहले तो मैं ये जानना चाहता हूँ, मैं मार्क्स तो दे ही नहीं रहा हूँ, मैं तो नंबर 1, ना मैं मार्क्स दे रहा हूँ ना मैं डांट रहा हूँ किसी को। मैंने डांटा है किसी को डांटा तो नहीं है ना। राजेश प्लीज कम ऑन चैट यार, राजेश।
I cannot see him here, sir.
नहीं दिख नहीं रहा, पता नहीं, मैं अब मैं आई डोंट वांट टू डू द कॉल, अभी कॉल करता हूँ मैं उसके। तो अब ये अनोनिमस, प्लीज विल यू काइंडली वेरी
Yes, I
ऑनरेबल
will get you
जेंटलमैन
the
और लेडी,
name.
विल यू आइडेंटिफाई योरसेल्फ? अनोनिमस क्यों करते? मेरे को इससे बड़ी तकलीफ हो जाती है। खैर एनीवे,
Okay. Yeah.
क्वेश्चन तो मैं टेकअप करूंगा, बट सबसे पहले उसके लिए ये भी कंडीशन है,
These questions
आईओटी
have
एंड ड्रोन
come a few
सेक्टर, तो
minutes
आईओटी ड्रोन सेक्टर में कोई होंगे। आई विल आस्क अ क्वेश्चन टू द अनोनिमस। चलो मैं इसका क्वेश्चन का क्वेश्चन कर देता हूँ। मैं आई डोंट मैं खुद ही लोगों से बोलता हूँ मेरे क्वेश्चन का आप क्वेश्चन क्यों कर रहे हैं, मैं उनसे बट करूंगा क्योंकि उन्होंने लिख दिया है, अब उन्होंने मेरे को मौका दे लिया है। हाउ डू यू योरसेल्फ डिफरेंशिएट, anonymous sir or madam, how do you yourself differentiate yourself if you have to go look for a bride or husband, whatever? Tell me this answer. बोलिए, बिल्कुल लाइफ टू लाइफ सिचुएशन बताऊंगा मैं आपको। हाउ डू यू डिफरेंशिएट योरसेल्फ, बताइए। कैन द आंसर मी, कैन आंसर लाइव, आप आंसर करेंगे मेरे को प्लीज। एक और उनका दूसरा क्वेश्चन भी है, जब तक सोचेंगे आंसर करने के दूसरे क्वेश्चन पे, इनके दूसरा क्वेश्चन ले लेता हूं, बिकॉज as an expert in electrical fire hazard safety, what role does compliance with safety regulation and standards play in the commercialized process? How can business ensure them? ये मैं समझ ही नहीं आया क्वेश्चन, अब क्या पूछ रहे हो exactly? I didn't understand this question. दर्शन दे दो भगवान, दर्शन दे दो। अरे आप नाम ही लिख।
No, the question has come a few minutes back, sir. I think there are a few people who've dropped out. So
Sorry?
it could be one. Sir, a few people have dropped out also, and the question is 20
कितने
minutes
कितने
back.
4 मिनट का है, तो 20 मिनट पहले का है, इतना
हाँ।
पेशेंस किया आपको।
हो सकता है कि ड्रॉप आउट।
ये मेरे को क्वेश्चन समझ ही नहीं आया, टू बी वेरी फ्रैंक। पहले वाला तो समझ में आ गया मेरे को, बट सबसे पहले उनको बताना पड़ेगा, आप खुद ही अपने आप को आंसर कर लो। That is also nothing different than marketing. Isn't the person marketing yourself or himself or herself when he goes in India at least? Even before marriage, suppose you don't want to have a long-term relationship, you want to have casual relationship also. I'm like again front. I consider all of them very like my friends and like my equivalent in intelligence and so आप अपने आप को कैसे डिफरेंशिएट करोगे आप? आपको पता लग जाएगा बाद में किसने किया, पता लग जाएगा वत्सला जी?
Yes, sir, I will try and get it.
नंबर से पता। अब पूछिए उनसे, बोलिए कि I specifically answer. It would be
Sure.
interesting to know his answer. Then I'll be able to answer him clearly. I'll be able to answer him. और कोई क्वेश्चन तो नहीं रह गया?
नहीं, these are the 3 questions which you can see. There's one more question in the.
मैंने कर दिया B2B का, मैंने तो बहुत सारे एग्जांपल दे दिए उनको। आप इंग्लिश का दे दिया, हैवेल्स का दे दिया है, और सब B2B सब था। B2B था, B2C भी था उसमें, और B2B में और सारे थे, टिस्को के साथ में थे, बड़े एग्जाम्पल थे, इलेक्ट्रिक में थे। बट कमल स्ट्रेटेजी ऐसे थोड़ी बोलती जाते कि ये 1 2 3 4 आप जाके उस ऐसे नहीं होता है। ऐसा नहीं स्ट्रेटेजीज बोला जाता कि अभी स्टडी उसमें व्हाट इज ट्रू फॉर। ये आपके दो इनके जो है लेडी आजकल न्यूज में आ रहा है, इसलिए लेडी डायना के वो हैरी है, दूसरा कौन है? हैरी मेगन है, दूसरा वाले कौन है, क्या नाम उनका, जो अपने सन है ना इनके, जो अभी एनीवे व्हाट इज ट्रू फॉर हैरी कैन नॉट बी ट्रू फॉर हिज ब्रदर, हिज रियल ब्रदर। हेलो, आर यू ऑन म्यूट वत्सला? ये जो लास्ट वाला है ना, कैन यू प्रोवाइड एग्जांपल सक्सेसफुल कमर्शियलाइजेशन? I've explained in various ways. I've explained it. Sorry, 1 minute.
Am I audible, sir? Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible. Yeah.
Okay. There's one more question by a startup from waste management. He's asking, does communication around a product remains healthy by brochure, video, sample models, or longer pursued relationships around clients?
No, fear, just repeat it because I was trying to get Rajesh on line. He's there. Sorry, please.
Does communicate? So this is a waste management startup.
Yeah, sure.
He's asking, does communication around the project, a product remains healthy by brochure, video, sample models, or long pursued relationships with clients?
All of the above, some of the above, and sometimes none of the above. And I'm not मैं मैं क्वेरी नहीं दे रहा हूं, मैं कौन बनेगा करोड़पति नहीं दे रहा हूं मैं, क्वेश्चन ABCD वो नहीं कर रहा हूं। Actually, again, you have the keys of all the lockers, your own lockers in your own hands. You are the Gemba person, the person who has the Gemba, who is the Gemba manager at site. So how can I, waste management ठीक है, आपको waste management, I can put across some more people from my own batch who are into waste management. I can put across more, I can connect you to more people who are into green energy from waste management. Are you talking of green energy? So, this sort of question is, it's, I will say, out of this, not out of the syllabus, it's actually out of the whole palette of this thing we have.
Pranav, are you here? You're unmuted. You can unmute yourself and talk.
I'm listening to sir.
Okay, Pranav. So I think I have been very, he's written, okay. I have been very soft and telling you that, look, this question is: have you tried any of these, like this brochure? You said long-term relationship. Have you tried any of these, or you want to know before trying? You want to find out, sir?
No, I tried it. These are very basic things like brochure video. That's why intentionally put the very basic things. Like I want you to basically wanted to know from your experience point of view how these basic things go along. So that's why I put kind of very basic question, which you say is a little bit odd or so.
No, nothing is odd, and everything is odd. The
But I got
whole,
your
please, yeah.
got your point that one has to decide himself as per situation. That's
Not just that, not just that. You see, brochure, what eventually, what is a brochure? What is a brochure? You stand in a marketplace and you distribute small slips. That is also brochure. सर अपना नंबर दे दीजिए, आपको ये आपको लकी ड्रॉ होगा और आपको बुला लेंगे एक टी कॉफी पे. I'm talking of these vacation, Mahindra and all that. They have that. But you have to put in some money in that eventually. वो करेंगे वहां पे, और नहीं भी करो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. अब एक दो बार गए तो उसके बाद आप स्टॉप. Now brochure is also one thing which you can put in the paper, newspapers also. That would be good for the agri segments. Okay, where you put small brochures in the local newspapers, in the local newspaper newspapers. अभी papers वैसे कम हो गए हैं. Then there are other ways of promoting your product also. In बहुत सारे, which we have done it also for starters. We have done it in, although as I said, in English electric, and in BCH also we have done for the starters in the rural segment. So they are all local but quite broad. Once you give a brochure, it means you are you don't know who your target is. You don't know who to whom. Just 1 minute. This brochure bit eventually reach. Will it reach your target 100%? Will it reach your target 1%? Will it not reach your target at all? You are not able to say. Right or wrong? Did you get me? Understand me till now?
Yeah,
Hello?
I'm getting.
ओके. सो अगर आप दूसरी चीज बात करें, रिलेशनशिप आपको कैसे होगा, बनेगा? आपने वो सोचा रिलेशनशिप बिल्कुल बनेगा हर चीज में. बिजनेस रिलेशनशिप्स तो ऑलवेज हैव बीन, एज आई टोल्ड यू, जैसे मैंने एग्जांपल अगेन एग्री के लिए दिया था कि वो सालों सालों से, वो क्या जनरेशन से वो लोग करते आ रहे हैं उन फैमिलीज के साथ में जो उनकी एरिया में है. उनके मदर देव, हाँ अब याद आ गया मेरे को. वो अरे फिर भूल गया. वो पटियाला में एक बहुत बड़ी मार्केट है. I'll tell you place. So वहाँ पे these, all these merchants are there, cloth merchants along the, all the this thing have been coming for years to the farmers, and they know that वो सालों से हम इनको फाइनेंस करते आ रहे हैं. उनका जब वो होगा, क्या नाम है आपका, फसल कटेगी, when they have the harvest they'll give the money back. तो वो क्या है, that relationship marketing. It's a relationship. There's no break. जनरेशन के बाद नेक्स्ट जनरेशन, फिर भी उसके नेक्स्ट जनरेशन आता, वो भी जाता उनके पास में. और आपने और क्या बोला था आपने, होटल्स आपने बोला, अच्छा इधर लिखा है वीडियो सैंपल मॉडल द लॉन्गर. सी, relationship will always give but longer pursuit. Yes, this is the point. Is the key word is longer pursuit. Yes, relationship has to be thing time tested relationship बोलते हैं या वो बोलते हैं. अब ये बताएं कि वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट. ओके, सो आर यू डूइंग दिस वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट टू एनर्जी, और यू आर जस्ट डूइंग द वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट जो आपके यहाँ पे दिल्ली एंड ऑल में जो कलेक्ट करते हैं? आई थिंक कानपुर में भी वो कौन सी
जो कलेक्शन ट्रांसपोर्टेशन है उसके आगे वाली चीज स्टेप कर रहे हैं वहाँ पे. वेस्ट को डिसेंट्रलाइज तरीके से छोटे मशीन में इंस्टेंटली सेम डे फिनिश किया जाता है. फिनिश इन द सेंस उसको ड्राई फ्यूल पाउडर में कन्वर्ट किया जाएगा. सो दैट, यस.
So what are the pains now? What are your pains right now? Are you not able to?
I'll tell you, sir. बेसिक आपने आपके सेशन के इनिशियल पार्ट में जो बताया था ना, लाइक कम्युनिकेशन, you emphasize a lot. And communication is also my personal favorite point. So I am trying to relate these videos, brochure, and all those other means of communicating information around the product to customer. But where does the communication become effective? Whether it is through these typical things or long perceived relation. That's how I wanted to basically put the question
कब
right.
से कर रहे हैं आप ये जो ब्रोशर का कर रहे हैं वो सब आप कुछ कर रहे हैं, कब से कर रहे हैं आप?
Around 1 year, sir. Around 1 year.
तो उसका आपने हैव यू एनालाइज दैट द रिजल्ट ऑफ दैट एनीथिंग यू
Not
नो? हाँ बताइए। नहीं,
nahi.
वो तो जरूरी है ना। आप कैसे बोलोगे, आप कैसे बोलोगे कि वो इफेक्टिव नहीं है? हो सकता है आपके कोई नया कस्टमर्स आए इन द 1 year में। हैव यू गॉट
हाँ,
एनी न्यू?
और काफी सारे इंटरेस्ट मतलब लोगों को इंटरेस्ट है आ रहा है इसमें, क्योंकि दिस इज बिकमिंग नीड. Obviously I'm in contact with those to whom I have communicated 1 year ago. Still
ओके,
they are और अभी प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च का फेज चालू था, इसलिए एक्चुअल सेल वहाँ पे डायरेक्टली अब तक जिसके मैं एग्जांपल दे पाऊँ ऐसे नहीं हुए हैं. बट स्टिल आई वांट टू कीप कम्युनिकेशन हेल्दी, so that they remain interested around the product.
they remain attached to you. At a later
हाँ.
date they come. So do you have a professional agency doing this?
Sorry sir, I didn't get that.
Do you have a professional agency doing it, or you yourself are doing all this brochure and?
We have some I mean local artists है जो brochures बनाते हैं, so we are not
नहीं
doing
नहीं
brochure
नहीं नहीं नहीं,
videos
बनाने का
also.
तो वो तो एक तो ब्रोशर बनाना है, दूसरे द क्रिएटिव पार्ट ऑफ इट. Like who's managing the distribution, who's managing the feedback, who's managing the follow-up? Do you have telemarketers with you? Do you have any agency which is physically distributing these brochures? I'm asking you very specific questions on the
we
already what you have done.
we don't have. We participated in some exhibitions, like 2 exhibitions we participated in past 6 months.
कहाँ पे
और
आप कानपुर से पे आप कानपुर की बात कर रहे हैं?
from Aurangabad, Maharashtra, and I
अच्छा,
participated in
महाराष्ट्र.
exhibition of Pune.
तो आप औरंगाबाद महाराष्ट्र में, समझ गया औरंगाबाद. तो आप सांगली तो जानते हो, सांगली डिस्ट्रिक्ट आप जानते होंगे. सांगली.
Sangli, yes.
हाँ, मैं सांगली में गया हूँ, औरंगाबाद में अभी नहीं गया हूँ. औरंगाबाद में तो वो है ना आपका क्रॉम्पटन ग्रीव्स का फैक्ट्री, वहां पे जाना भी है, टू गो फॉर अ विजिट फॉर माय ओन.
लिकर फैक्ट्री बहुत ज्यादा है सर.
नहीं, लिकर फैक्ट्री भी है वहां पे. अच्छा, तो आपका सबसे पहले तो कोई क्लाइंट आपके वही हो गए, लिकर फैक्ट्री हो गए.
बिल्कुल. फर्नेस
तो
जिनके पास है उनको देना है.
तो आप बेस्ड है औरंगाबाद में ही है ना?
यस यस.
ओके, ग्रेट. सो आप वहां पे आपके मतलब, और आपके साथ में जो आपके टीम है आपके, और साथ में 2 4 5 लोगों के मार्केटिंग में कोई है क्या?
है सर, वहाँ मतलब 2 से 3 लोग हैं अभी जो हम लोग मतलब इंक्लूडिंग माई सेल्फ. तो हम लोग मार्केटिंग में मतलब मार्केटिंग कैसे करते हैं, मतलब इफ यू आर इंटरेस्टेड, इफ यू आर पोटेंशियल क्लाइंट, आई विल गिव यू डेटा, आई विल मेक यू अंडरस्टैंड कि ये प्रोडक्ट क्या है, किस तरीके से यूनिक डिफरेंट है, किस तरीके से बेनिफिट एटसेट्रा, और फिर देन आई विल परस्यू. दैट्स द वे. और फिर उसका एक चार्ट है, तो थोड़ी बहुत लिस्ट है जहाँ पे अराउंड 100 क्लाइंट्स की लिस्ट है जिनको अभी या तो फॉलो अप करना है, जो कि कुछ है जो इमीडिएटली पिक्चर में आ रहा है, बट कुछ है जिनको मैं परस्यू करना, मतलब इस तरीके से चल रहा है सर. सो कम्युनिकेशन बेसिक इफेक्टिव.
कम्युनिकेशन इज हैज टू बी, यस, द कीवर्ड. यस, कम्युनिकेशन हैज टू बी कीवर्ड. और आप बोल रहे हो ना कि इंटरेस्ट दिखाया, आप उनको चाहते हो कि आप उसमें मतलब वो रहे. ओके ओके. हाँ, कि उसमें रहे. आई गॉट द मैसेज वत्सला. सो उसमें रहे आपको, तो उसमें इंडिविजुअली आपको थोड़ा, आपको lot of things could be done. Of course, it could. I've thought of. I'm thinking of it. So a lot of things which come to my mind. But feedback लेना बहुत जरूरी है. Is this program really effective? Giving the brochure. Is there a visit which is required? A lot of things can be done. But maybe later on, Vatsala, just we could talk to Pranav. Vedya, I think you're Vedya, na? Yeah.
Yes.
अच्छा, ओके. सो आप बताइए इनको. ये है कि आपको जो आपको लगता है कि आपको हेल्प चाहिए, आप यू वांट अस टू बी एसोसिएटेड, डेफिनेटली. देखिए, हमने पहले शुरू में जो बोला था कि देयर इज नो, मतलब मैं उसकी बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ फ्रीलांस में, ये बोल रहा हूँ कि मेंटर्स वुड ऑल बी इंटरेस्टेड इफ दे हैव and some knowledge, or they if they have a passion, of course, and with knowledge to do that. अगर कोई ऐसी चीज है जो मेंटर बोलते हैं कि नहीं हम कर लेंगे, सब कुछ कर लेंगे, वो कोई कहेगा. आई डोंट थिंक एट दिस फोरम, at our level of anybody would say that. There, of course, some can do better than others. There's also a fact, maybe. But then कितना एसोसिएशन कर सकते हैं मेंटर्स आपके साथ, वो डिपेंड करता है. कि एक केस और मैं एक सेंटेंस में बोलूं, आप वत्सला नहीं, चलो आप नहीं बोलो, कि जो मेंटर्स जो अगर वो टाइम अपना देते हैं, अभी तक तो मैंने दे दिया, मैंने तो यही बोला था, अब उसके बाद में एंड में जो आप सर्वे लेना है ना, वो बहुत जरूरी है, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. बेस्ड ऑन दैट आई विल ऑल्सो, एंड आई एम नॉट बीइंग वेरी, क्या बोलते हैं, वेरी सैक्रोसैंक्ट और वेरी, क्या बोलता है, स्ट्रिक्ट अबाउट इट, बट यस, इफ दे फाउंड दिस डिस्कशन ऑफ टुडे टिल नाउ, अभी इनसे भी बात हुई है, अभी यहीं खत्म करके मैं बोल रहा हूँ, इफ दे फाउंड दिस डिस्कशन, दिस होल प्रेजेंटेशन डिस्कशन, मी एज अ स्पीकर ऑल्सो, and our interaction, if they found it worth their while, I mean, I would be very, very happy to know. If still they did not find, I mean, I would not mind, because always everybody have their own weaknesses. And I do not know today. I can see in the, I mean, in the camera what wall color is there मेरे पीछे. Otherwise, I do not know ना पीछे में कौन है. मेरे को तो नहीं पता. Although I don't know what my weaknesses may be there, what my this thing may be there, so that you people will tell. And if you didn't find it okay, also I will also not mind it. Please be very frank enough to tell. Yes, it is all that. Then we can continue with further one-to-one sessions. Or if you don't mind, I mean, I don't. If you don't mind, if you don't want, then I won't mind. I mean, as good as that. And आप please take this thing, because, but this was last part was interesting. At least it came out. Somebody came out with the real life situation. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah, thank you, Pranav, for your questions and coming forward. So, sir, as you said that you floated a few questions to me about this session, I will certainly get you the survey done about it from the participants, those who were here today. Thank you so much for this intriguing session. And certainly, there are people who would want to get connected and continue the discussion further. I would also say thanks to all those people who stayed back till the end.
Big clap for them.
Yeah.
Yes, I clap for all the participants who've taken out the time, and yes, energy they put in, and of course listen to us. एक आप वो फोटोग्राफ भूल गए, आप फिर सबका हंसते हुए फोटोग्राफ लेना है ना,
No,
क्या
this is
आप
this.
करोगे?
हम
Can you
दोनों
get all the
हंसते हुए
people
लिख
on board, जो
सकते
भी
हैं.
Can you get them in the main room?
No,
नहीं
no,
हो
it
सकता.
is not. नहीं हो सकता.
क्यों? अरे ये क्या?
No, this is something for me also. So next time we will not keep it as a webinar session.
Then I'll tell you. No problem. Thank you all the participants. I mean, it was a very good energy giving session for me, and of course Vatsala, and I don't know if Ankush ji is there or not. Ankush ji and this thing, both. I mean, they're very. I must tell all the participants that you have a very good, encouraging, and very good, positive and supportive team at SIIC. I am saying it not from the point of view because I'm saying it. I don't praise unduly, and of course I used to criticize unless not unless I used to say in the face, but I don't praise. But you have got a very good team, so make full use of that, and also understand their limit. Everybody have their own limitations, so understand their limitations. Then there's a saying again. I remember, God helps those who help themselves. So you can help them so that they can help you more. Vatsala, Ankush, I've met Ankush also. I've not met Vatsala. I had a discussion with Mr. Nikhil, so I've started getting more and more positive feelings about the whole setup, and I'm not just saying this for the sake of saying. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your time.
If possible, if you can get it today, because that would be very good. आज जो straight जो उनके अभी mind में fresh है, वो मैं सैम उसकी बात कर रहा हूँ.
जी सर, मैं कोशिश करूंगी to get you this data.
So I won't trouble you for a month now. Don't worry. I know I've been pressing on Vatsala. I mean, I've been pushing her hard, and that's the way. And she has responded 100% to everything, including making the excellent brochure, which I could not do also because of my other issues. So, but she's done it very well, and I'm so happy that so many attendees would come, and I'm also very happy that it was, from my point of view, it was a very good happening. It was a very good event. At least so many people attended till almost till the end. I saw 28 or so till the end. So that is I mean, I think it's a phenomenal success. And thank you, Pranav. At least finally you came out clearly, and more people should come out and say. I mean, there's nothing right and wrong in life. There's nothing absolutely right, absolutely wrong. राइट में भी गलत होता है और गलत में भी अच्छा सही होता है. ये मेरा लाइफ फिलॉसफी है. All people are having positivities, all people are having negativities. As I told, मेरे को नहीं पता मेरे पीछे में क्या. I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking I'm doing very good and all. I don't know. Really. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, sir.
And
Yes.
cheers once again.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you everyone for joining us. Take care. Good evening.